Everyone knows Grimm's fairy tales are dark, but the Juniper Tree crosses a line they never show you in children's books or modern adaptations. It is a story of deep piety, horrific family violence, and a cannibalistic feast disguised as grief. Centuries ago, a deeply pious woman sits beneath a juniper tree in the dead of winter, peeling an apple. As she cuts her finger, drops of bright red blood fall onto the pure white snow, stark and striking against the frost. Looking at the contrast, she whispers a desperate wish. If only I had a child as white as snow and as red as blood. Her wish is granted, but the cost is immediate. She dies the moment the baby boy is born. The father buries his wife beneath the juniper tree and eventually remarries. They have a daughter named Marlene, but the wicked stepmother quickly grows to bitterly hate her new stepson out of jealousy and malice. The stepmother's hatred festers into something homicidal. She keeps a massive, heavy oak chest in the house, its lid heavy enough to crush bone and sever flesh with a single, sudden impact. One day, while the young boy is innocently reaching for an apple inside the heavy chest, the wicked stepmother snaps. Without a sound of warning, she releases her grip. She slams the heavy lid down with crushing force, decapitating the boy cleanly. The sudden violence of the act leaves his head rolling across the wooden floorboards while his body remains trapped inside. Panicked and desperate to conceal her monstrous crime, the stepmother executes a sickening cover-up. She takes his severed head, ties it back onto his shoulders with a silk scarf, and props him up on a chair. She places an apple in the dead boy's hand and tells her innocent daughter Marlene to go hit him. When Marlene approaches and accidentally knocks his head clean off, she screams in absolute terror. Blaming the accident on the girl and spiraling into total madness, the stepmother commits an unthinkable act. Instead of confessing, she decides to completely destroy any evidence that the boy ever existed. She takes a sharp butcher knife, chops the boy's body up into pieces, and throws him into a large iron pot to cook him into a rich, savory stew for the family's dinner. When the father comes home from work, he sits down and eats every single bite of the stew, crying tears of joy at how tender and delicious the meat is, completely unaware of what he is consuming. While her father eats, little Marlene crawls beneath the table, gathering up the boy's leftover bones with trembling hands. She wraps them carefully in a silk handkerchief to hide them from her mother. Crying bitter tears, Marlene carries the handkerchief outside and buries the bones deep beneath the frozen roots of the juniper tree, hoping her beloved stepbrother can finally rest in peace. But the earth remembers. As soon as the bones are buried beneath the tree, the atmosphere around the yard shifts entirely, charged with a strange, supernatural energy that defies the laws of nature. Suddenly, a magnificent glowing bird rises from the ashes and branches of the tree. It is a creature of blinding light and terrible beauty, singing a haunting melody that echoes through the countryside. The bird flies to a local goldsmith shop, perches on the roof, and begins to sing a repetitive, chilling rhyme. My mother slew me, my father ate me. Little sister Marlene gathered all my bones. The goldsmith is so captivated and horrified by the song that he runs out of his shop, eager to hear the miraculous creature again. The bird rewards his attention with a priceless gift from the sky. It drops a heavy, glittering gold chain right into the goldsmith's hands as payment for listening to its tale of betrayal before spreading its wings and flying onward toward the family's home. The bird flies next to a local shoemaker's workshop, repeating its devastating song. Just like the goldsmith, the shoemaker steps outside, completely transfixed by the avian phantom. True to its pattern, the bird drops a pair of tiny, perfect red shoes from the clouds down to the shoemaker, rewarding him for bearing witness to the dark confession of the household. Finally, the bird flies to a local mill where 20 millers are working. It perches on the roof, singing its haunting verse about murder, cannibalism, and hidden bones. The millers join in harmony with the bird's song, and in return, the creature drops a millstone from the heavens, completing its trio of mystical transactions across the town. Armed with a gold chain, a pair of red shoes, and a millstone, the miraculous bird finally flies back to the family home where the father, the stepmother, and little Marlene are gathered. The father steps outside, completely entranced by the bird's beauty and the strange feeling of longing it evokes in his chest. He has no idea what the creature is actually trying to tell him. The bird swoops down and places the heavy gold chain around the father's neck. The father weeps with joy, marveling at the gift, and runs inside to show his wife and daughter. Little Marlene runs out next, wishing to see what the miraculous bird has brought for her. She stands beneath the juniper tree, looking up with wide, hopeful eyes. The bird drops the tiny red shoes right into Marlene's hands. She slips them onto her feet, dancing around the courtyard in delight, feeling a strange sense of comfort she cannot explain. Finally, the wicked stepmother stays inside, but an overwhelming wave of terror forces her to step out into the light. She feels suffocated, as if the walls of the cottage are closing in around her. As soon as she crosses the threshold, a crushing weight hits her soul. She tries to convince herself that everything is fine, but the bird begins to sing its lethal verse directly to her. The stepmother tries to cover her ears, screaming for the bird to shut up, but the song penetrates her mind. She feels a searing pain in her chest, as though she is burning from the inside out. With a final, thunderous screech, the bird drops its third and final gift from the sky, the heavy millstone it received from the millers, plummeting straight down toward the courtyard. The millstone strikes the ground with earth-shattering impact right where the stepmother is standing, obliterating her in a blinding flash of divine retribution and localized judgment. When the dust clears, the wicked stepmother is completely gone, crushed beneath the massive stone. The courtyard falls into an eerie, dead silence as the smoke drifts away into the winter sky. Suddenly, a blinding flash of supernatural fire erupts from the debris where the bird was perched. The creature transforms completely, shedding its feathers in a swirl of primal magic. Out of the smoke and ash steps the little boy, fully restored, alive and breathing, completely untouched by the horrors he suffered at the hands of his stepmother. The father and little Marlene stare in utter disbelief before dropping to their knees, weeping tears of joy as they run forward to embrace the boy they thought they had lost forever. Hand in hand, the reunited family walks back inside their warm cottage, stepping away from the juniper tree and the ghost of their dark past, leaving the horrors of the winter behind them. The juniper tree stands as one of the Grimm Brothers' most unsettling creations, a tale of murder, cannibalism, and poetic justice wrapped up in the innocent aesthetics of folklore. It reminds us that beneath the sanitized modern versions of our favorite fairy tales lie ancient, blood-soaked truths that civilizations tried desperately to forget, hiding right in plain sight. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next Dark History Breakdown.